We'll have our feet hip width apart, nice and tall through the spine. First thing we'll do is just roll from the top of our head down to our feet. We'll come back up and we'll do it again, and then we'll move on. So take a deep inhale through your nose. And on your exhale, nod that chin forward. You're gonna roll down to the feet nice and slow. Make sure your knees aren't locked back, that they're just slightly bent. Relaxing the arms and the shoulders. Take an inhale at the bottom. And on your exhale, we slowly start to stack up through the spine. Take your time. Rolling it all the way up. And we'll do it one more time. Inhaling at the top. And exhale, nod that chin forward. Rolling it on down towards your feet. Take an inhale at the bottom. And exhale. Stacking that spine back up nice and tall. So building on our balance work, we'll place our hands onto our hips, bring our heels together and our toes apart. And the first thing we'll do is just work from one foot to the other. I am lifting my right heel. I'm gonna lift both heels and then lower down my right heel, having the left heel up. And we'll just rock back and forth between those two. Take your time. You don't have to stay with me. Just go nice and slow. And the real work here is the softening of lowering your heel. That's where we find that control, lifting up and lowering slow. Lifting up and lowering slow. And we'll come over to this side one more time. And then we'll take it over to the other side. And then we'll lower that right heel down and we'll just widen our stance a little bit and repeat. Always remembering that we have less control when the legs are farther apart and it's harder to engage through the pelvic floor. So we'll lift up that right heel again. We'll lift up both heels, straighten both legs, and nice and slow, bending the left knee, we'll lower that right heel. So finding our control that way. So we go up and we bring it down. And up and bring it down. You can feel the work moving into the calf muscles, lifting from underneath the pubic bone. That was a good nod there. And this is our last one, moving back over to where we began and lowering the heel. So we're already in this nice wide position. So we're gonna take a bend of those knees and we'll shift our weight to our left knee and reach across. So I've lifted my right foot and my right arm. I'm looking in this direction. And then we'll bring our hands back to our hips, bend both knees, twist, and we lift the other way. So this is what we're working on. Just stay with me, nice and slow. Reaching, bring it down. Don't stick those booties out. Reach and bring it down. And reach, not holding the breath, just breathing steady. Haven't given you any breath cues, so don't worry too much as long as you are holding that breath. Last time reaching this way. And last time reaching this way. Let's find the center with a deep knee bend and stand back up nice and tall. So now we're gonna add the cardio work into this, okay? It's the same action and motion, except we're gonna add a hop. And we're gonna move a lot faster. So just to demonstrate, is that bend of the knees and a hop, bend, hop, bend, hop, bend, hop. We're gonna do that for 30 seconds. Here we go. Are you ready, ladies? And let's do it. And it's up. Halfway there. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wide stance with those legs, toes pointed towards me. Bend your knees, inhale deep, lift those arms up. And exhale. And again, we've got that blood pumping through the body. Oxygen moving out to our fingertips. This time as we open those arms, we'll nod the chin forward. Roll down to your feet. Try to take nice, big, deep breaths to help calm the heart down. Filter that oxygen through your blood some more. Placing my hands down on the floor. Bring my knees down, feet together, knees apart, and find a child's pose. Letting that body relax into the floor. Body's all folded up. Releases the top of the thigh. I'll place my hands on the floor to stack up through my spine. So I'm going to turn to the side onto my bum. I've got my feet hip width apart on the mat. My knees are bent. Hands are behind my thighs, elbows wide, chin and chest lifted. Sitting on top of those sits bones. And nice and slow, we'll start our pelvic curls before we move back down all the way onto the mat. Inhale. And exhale, pull that belly button back and round that sacrum down towards the floor. Deepening the fold across the belly button. Inhale. Stack the spine back up. Find those sits bones. And again, exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. This next one, we're going to exhale, walk our hands down our thighs. Keep going. Really pull that belly button back. Find your way all the way down. Onto your spine. I'm placing my hands on my hip bones today to keep tension out of my shoulders, but you can keep your hands flat on the floor if you like. Feet are still hip width apart and on the floor, knees are bent. Now we'll take that pelvic curl even deeper. Inhale and exhale. Hold that tummy in, rounding through the spine. Finding more depth of curling. Inhale at the top. And exhale, descend through the spine, finding each little spinous process hitting the mat. Inhale. And exhale, curl. And inhale. Exhale, roll the spine back down into the mat. And exhale. One more time. Finding that deepening curl, lengthening lower spine. And then rolling that spine back down. Slowly build into our abdominal work. Straighten first that right leg out across the mat, and then the left leg flexing both feet into the floor. Placing your palms down next to you. Arms are long, legs are long. On your next exhale, we'll pull that right leg to tabletop. Inhale, straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Flex your foot. Exhale, lower it down to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, left leg pulls into tabletop. Inhale, straightens up, flex the foot. Exhale, lower the leg down to the floor. Inhale at the bottom. And right leg comes in. Inhale up, flex your foot. Exhale, lower. Left leg, exhale, tabletop. Inhale, straightening the leg, flex the foot, exhale, lower down to the floor. Then we bring that right leg in, keep it there. Left leg finds its way into tabletop at the same time. We'll use our exhale to find a head, neck, or shoulder curl. Hover those arms right over the mat, reaching fingertips away from you. And we work our single leg stretch here, sort of blending that with our 100. Inhale to straighten the right leg out to a 45. Exhale, switch. And here's 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway there. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull both knees in, hands behind the thighs, rest your head, neck, and shoulders. You can wiggle the butt around, do what you need to do. Now, as we continue with the abdominal work, try to hold your curl, okay? Holding that head, neck, and shoulder curl. If you need a break, take a break, but I'm gonna try to stay up the whole time for the rest of the exercises. Moving those legs back out into tabletop, I'll exhale, hands behind the thighs, finding my head, neck, and shoulder curl, really looking at my belly button. I inhale for double leg stretch, arms up, legs away. Exhale, bend the knees, circle the arms, and out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right leg reaches away from me. Both hands are behind the left thigh. Straighten the left leg. Walk those hands up. We scissor. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one. 8. Pull both knees in. If you need to rest your head, neck, and shoulders, please do. But come back in and join us for crisscross. Legs are at tabletop. My hands lace behind the base of my skull. I reach the left leg away. Reach my left armpit to my right knee. And I switch. Inhale. Switch. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. Pull both knees in. Rest the head, neck, and shoulders. Place the left foot down, right foot down. Straighten those legs out on the floor. Let them flop down. And then we're going to wave our toes in and wave our toes out. We're waving someone with their feet. You can move really fast. It's going to shake the body. That's okay. Really finding release of the muscles on the bone. They're attached to each other, but they can relax and jiggle. Jiggle's okay. Good work with that warming up of the tummy. My tummy is on fire. I hope yours is too. Flex those feet, forming hip width apart and into the floor. Finding that connection of the back of the thigh down. Reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. On your next exhale, we're going to try to curl all the way up to sitting. If you need some help, help yourself out and don't give yourself a hard time about it. And again, exhale, we curl, reaching all the way up. Stack the spine, sit up nice and tall. From here, we have our spine stretch. Inhale and exhale from the top of the head. We round forward and over that sternum, finding release through the upper spine. Inhale, stack the spine back up. If you need to, bend your knees a little bit. If you can't get on top of the sits bones here, it's okay to bend those knees. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, stack the spine all the way up to the top. And exhale. And inhale, stack all the way up. Nice job. I place my hands on the floor. I'm going to cross my left foot over my right so I can stand back up. Hello. All right. So just a little bit more balance work that we can build into our next exercise. So standing with my feet in parallel, hands on my hips. And I'm going to work on shifting my weight to pick up a foot to touch my knee, touch my ankle, and lower it down. Shifting weight. Other foot touches ankle, touches knee, touches foot, goes down. And touches ankle, knee, ankle, down. Penelope's running laps for us out there in the living room. Sorry. And ankle, knee, ankle, down. Ankle, knee, ankle, down. Let's make it just a little bit harder. Ankle, knee, hold it up there. Rise up on that heel, or sorry, those toes. Lower it down. Find your ankle. Find the floor. The down is so much more important than an up when you lift the heel, okay? We want to find that control. Ankle, knee, levitate the heel, and then try to slowly lower it back into the floor. Ankle. One more time each side. Ankle, knee, raise the heel up, even if it's just a tiny bit so you can control your way down. And then ankle, floor. Last time. Ankle, knee, lift, lift, lift through that heel. And back down. And put the foot down onto the floor. So let's change this into a fun, it's gonna make me think of like old school jazzercise. So we're gonna jump, pulling that foot up to the knee. Opposite arm rises with opposite knee, like this. And you can just do the step touches if you don't wanna hop, but you gotta go fast, all right, ladies? Otherwise, it's a hop up and a hop up. The higher you pull the knee, the more you'll feel underneath. Here we go, 30 seconds. And up. Halfway there. Five, four, three, two, and one. Nice and wide through those feet. Bend those knees. Inhale, come on up. And exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Last one, inhale. Open the arms, nod the chin forward, roll on down through the spine. Take your time descending to the floor. Placing the hands down. Coming down onto the knees, open those knees, bring your feet together, and again, it's a child's pose. Just such a good way to release. We'll place your hands on the floor and we'll stack up through the spine. So here we are, we're on our knees, facing each other. I'm gonna come on up to stand on my knees. And right away from this position, so we're up nice and tall. I have a tiny tuck of my tushy underneath, so I'm not throwing any of this work into my lower spine. Right away, we're gonna tip our weight over to the right, finding the right hand down, making sure that I am not leaning into my right wrist, but that my hip is still over my knee. I'll take that left leg out to the side, reaching that that left arm up towards the ceiling. We'll lift that leg up to hip height, flex the foot, and we'll take little circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reverse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to go ahead and point my toe. I'm going to lower that leg down slightly in front of me. Inhale. I'm going to lift that leg up. We're making a rainbow shape. Tap it behind. Inhale. Lift it up. Hold steady through the torso. Tap it in front. And exhale. lift, lift. The last one, up and up. I'm gonna bend that left knee so I can find my way all the way back up to being on top with both knees. We're up at the top. I'm gonna take that left hand now down to the side, making sure that it's just there for balance. I'm not putting lots of weight on this wrist. It shouldn't get very tired here. Reach the right arm up towards the ceiling. The right leg is reaching out. I flex the foot. I lift the leg up to hip height. And I find my circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then I go the other way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, I point that toe. I lower the leg down, tap it in front. I arc and draw my rainbow. Exhale back. Up. 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 Almost there. Last time. And back. Bend that knee and bring myself all the way back up. Shake out those wrists and turn to face the side. Coming down to my elbows, lacing my fingertips together, double checking that my knees are truly underneath my hips and that they're not somewhere forward. I like this mat. I've got lots of lines on it. It sort of helps me. It helps my brain out. So my elbows should be right under my shoulders, and we're working one leg at a time here. First, I'm lifting up through the chest to make sure I'm not sagging towards the floor. That's engaged, tummy's engaged. I'm gonna reach my right leg away from me. We're gonna work leg pull down in a half plank. So from here, I inhale to lift that up and exhale to slowly draw it down and barely touch the floor. And up. 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 2. And 1. And then I'll draw that knee back in. I'm going to take a peek because it helps me know where to put it. And then I'm going to make sure my chest is still engaged, my belly's still engaged, and I'm going to reach that left leg out. And again, I inhale to lift it up, and I exhale to slowly tap it. Last one. Draw that knee in. Twist yourself to sit on your side and wiggle yourself down to land your side on the mat. Using my hands and that back edge of the mat to make sure that I am in line with everything, supporting my head and my hands. And we'll start with bent knees. So I need to create some space underneath my side body by moving this hip up and over just a little bit. It doesn't move a lot to create that space, but that's what we need. And straight from here, we're going to do an external and internally rotating clamshell. So inhale to open the knees without shifting the hip, and exhale to open the feet and draw the knees together. Really oiling up that hip socket. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This is 4. We have 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Close the knees, keep the feet together. Straighten those legs out to the front corner of your mat. Right away, I'm going to straighten my top arm out across my thigh. Lift the top leg up to hip height. And on my exhale, I'll bring the bottom leg up to meet it. 2, sorry. And last one, 1. Good. Lower those legs down. I'm going to place that hand back down onto the floor. So we find external rotation with both feet. So we were standing up, we would be heels together, toes apart. And we're gonna work that bottom of the leg, which is that kick without shifting or shortening the waist. I inhale to lift the leg up, flex the foot, exhale, squeeze my backside all the way together. That's 1 of 6. Here is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I bring my legs into parallel. I bend those knees and sit myself up into my Z sit. Good. So I'm going to reach, my feet are moving this way. So I'm going to reach that opposite arm out just to find this nice gentle side stretch, reaching up and over, stretching towards your feet. Just really trying to open things up on the side body. This is always my tighter side. And then we'll sit ourselves up nice and tall. We'll swing our legs over to the other side so we can lay on down and work that other side-lying side. Side-lying side. Be redundant. It's fine. Back. Line of the mat is lined up with your butt, shoulders, spine, all of those pieces. I got my head in my hand. I'm going to go ahead and move that top hip up just a little to create enough room to slide a pencil underneath me. And then we do that internally and externally rotating clamshell. Feet stay together, knees open. Exhale, feet open, knees touch. And again. We have 4 more to go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the feet together, squeeze those knees together, straighten those legs out to the front corner of your mat, lifting that top leg up to hip height, and we have 4 squeezes up to that leg. Exhale. Oh, I cheated that time. Don't lower that top leg. 2 more. And, this side was harder. Lowering both my legs together, and I find my heels together and my toes apart, pointing that top leg toe. Inhale, lift the leg up, and flex the foot. Exhale, squeeze those buns, squeeze those thighs. And again, inhale, flex, exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we bring those legs back together. We're going to bend our knees and sit ourselves up into the other side Z sit. Sitting up nice and tall. My feet are going this way. I'm reaching the opposite arm out. And I stretch up and over towards those feet. Opening up that side body. And bring yourself back up to sitting. So from here, we're going to turn to come to all fours. I'm going to work through the first 2 exercises of a push-up progression I've been working on. So we find all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. You can check yourself out. Make sure you're in the right spots. I can't be there to poke you with my fingers to tell you where to go. So you got to self-advocate. So from here, I hold everything steady through my torso. The only thing that's going to move is my elbows. And as I exhale, they bend back towards my thighs. And then I straighten. I'm not going very far. This is just a warm up. Exhale again. You have 6 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes?
No, I think the name of this on there.
Okay. Come on down to your elbows, ladies. We're still on our knees. Before we do the next part of the push-up progression, we're going to get off those wrists for a second and find our plank. I know. I'm not sure if we like the training, but it's a good thing. So I still have my knees under my hips. My elbows are now under my shoulders. My fingers are laced together. I've made a tiny triangle. Again, check in with your shoulders. Make sure you're not sagging towards the floor. We lift that chest up towards the ceiling, engages the pectoral muscle, chest muscle. And then I take my right leg out, tuck the toes under, pull my belly up, and then I take my left leg out, and I found my plank. I'm gonna point my toes. Right now my feet are flexed. I'm reaching back through my heels. On my inhale, I'm gonna push my face past my fists. And exhale, push it back. So point the toes to move, and back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Here's 5, and 6. Pull one knee in and then the other. Keep your feet together, but open those knees. And we find our child's pose. Relaxing for just a minute. All right. So from here, I'm going to come back up to all fours. Now I'm back up on the wrists. Knees under shoulders, wrists under, knees under your hips, not your shoulders, and hands under your shoulders. So from here, we're going to move to the second part of the push-up progression. So I'm going to walk my hands forward just a little bit. We're thinking of down stretch on the reformer. If you don't know what that exercise is, don't worry about it. We'll get into it. I'm going to move my knees back just a smidge. And then from here, I am going to shift my weight forward and over my hands again. So just like down stretch on the reformer, we make a straight line, hopefully, between our knees and our shoulders. I'm lifted still through the chest. On my exhale, I bend my elbows back and come up. 2, 3. Doesn't have to be big. 3, 2, and 1. You can push everything back. You can sit on your bum, and we'll shake out those wrists. We'll lace my fingers together and do a swirl. You don't have to. If you're resting from that, however you need to, that's fine. I just need to uncrunch my wrist bones. Good. So we have one more exercise here facing the floor. We will lace our fingertips together, put our elbows on the ground to find our plank instead of up on our wrists, just so we give those wrists enough break time so that we don't wear them out too fast. So knees under hips, elbows under shoulders, hands together. We get ready for, we did leg pull down, and now we're going to do leg pull up, all right? So emphasis on the contraction is opposite than before. Before, when we found our plank, we were emphasizing the contraction as we slowly lowered the leg back to the floor. Now we add the emphasis of the contraction when we raise the leg up away from the floor, okay? So right leg goes out, I tuck that tailbone under already before I reach that left leg out. And now it's the right leg. On my exhale, I bring it up. Exhale. Exhale. 3, 2, 1. Other side, exhale. 3, 2, 1. And from here, I'm going to find my side body and roll myself back down onto my back. Back. I missed you. All right. So before we do anything else, we're just going to release through the shoulders and the chest and the ribs because we just worked them really, really hard. So I'm going to bring my right leg into tabletop. My left leg is straight. I take my left hand, find the outside of my thigh, and pull that leg across my body. You're going to twist. Everything will twist. It's totally fine. If you can touch the right knee down on the floor, that's fine. If you can't, that's also fine. I take my right arm, I reach it away from me on a diagonal, and I look at my palm. So you should feel this stretch, not in your hips, but in your ribs and your shoulder, opening everything out. One of my clients recently thought she had been doing this stretch wrong because she wasn't feeling it in her hip. But you don't need to feel it in your hip. That's not what it's for. So we'll just reverse track. I'm going to bring that right arm down to my side. I'm going to bring the right leg back up to tabletop, find my back, and slide the leg out onto the floor and bring my left leg to tabletop. Right arm this time crosses to find the outside of the thigh. We pull that leg across the body and reach that left arm away from us, looking at the hand. Now we feel left ribs opening, left shoulder opening. And then we bring that left arm back down by our side, bring the left leg back to tabletop, straighten it out on the floor, and we get to wave our feet again, just really going fast, just shaking those legs out, making sure we're nice and released. I'm going to inchworm back just slightly on my mat so I feel like I'm all on there. Good. So, I've got my heels connected to the floor, hip width apart, feet are flexed. And we're first going to work roll up, which we sort of did in the beginning, but now we're all warmed up. Everything is connected. We're going to roll ourselves up to sitting and roll ourselves back down to the floor and move it into neck pull. It's just a variation on the same exercise. So reach my fingertips up towards the floor, the ceiling, that part of my room, not this part. Sorry. Inhale and exhale. We find that head, neck, and shoulder curl. We reach towards those toes and we sit up and round forward. From here, someone pulls my tummy back so I can slowly lower back down to the floor. Find your control. If you can't get all the way up, don't worry about it. Work to your ability. And then just control the motions you can. Exhale, sitting up. And belly pull back. And we roll it back down. And from here, I bend those elbows and lace my fingers together behind my head. And I get ready for neck pull. This time as we exhale and curl up, we'll dive those elbows to our knees. Inhale. And exhale, elbows cradle the face as you sit up and dive those elbows to knees and stack the spine back up and open your butterfly wings, elbows open to the side. We hinge backwards, inhale. Exhale, round the spine, lowering down to the floor. As slowly as you can. I'm shaky today, I'm shaky. Inhale, shaking's good. Exhale, elbows to knees. Stack the spine, open the elbows, sit up super duper tall. Hinge backwards. Exhale. And down. Inhale. And last time to sit up. Exhale, elbows to knees. Stack up the spine all the way to the top. Nice job. I'm going to turn to face me. I'm going to bring my feet together with my knees open, sitting up nice and tall. Now we're just going to reach our chest out over that open space. Inhale. And exhale, you can round down through the spine, releasing the head, neck, and shoulders. Your hips will start to open while you're in this position. You'll feel them shake a little, and then they'll release as the stretch reflex tries to iron itself out. And then we'll stack up through the spine, nice and tall. We'll reach that right leg out to the side, keeping the left leg bent. Just taking note that we're stretching the medial hamstring in this stretch, which is right along this crest here on the inside of the thigh, back side of the thigh as well. Toes don't need to rotate inwards. We lose that stretch. So we want to keep them either aiming up or slightly back. Sit up nice and tall. Just rest this arm on my knee for comfort. Opposite arm reaches out to the side, and we find just that simple side stretch over. And we'll sit up nice and tall. Switch our straight leg, toes aiming up. Reaching opposite arm out. And we'll find that opposite side stretch. And sitting up nice and tall. So from here, I'm going to turn myself to face the floor. I'm going to make sure my toes are right about at the back of the side of the mat. I'm going to find a downward facing dog. So it doesn't matter to me if your heels touch the floor or if you need to bend your knees to reach your heels down to the floor. Don't worry about those pieces that are really affected by how long your muscles are. I like to just make sure I'm reaching my chest towards my knees, just so I find that length across my spine. And then from here, my knees are bent. I'm gonna walk my hands back to my feet. I'm gonna make my feet a little narrower so they're hip width apart, and I'll stand up through the spine. Rolling all the way up. To finish up our push-up series and to finish up our work together today, we're gonna work through those push-ups. So my arms are up at the top, they're reaching towards the ceiling. I have a nice long spine with sits bones reaching down to the floor. Inhaling from the very top and the tip of the fingers. I'm gonna round forward. Bend my knees so I can continue to round forward without leaning back through my booty. And then I'll walk my hands out. First one's always tricky because we gotta figure out where our plank is. And then on my exhale, I'll just bend my elbows ever so slightly back towards my knees and toes. Then I'll bend my knees and walk myself back again. Lifting the tush and the tummy to roll up through the spine, bringing those arms up with us as the head lifts. Inhale. And exhale. You've had one to sort of try to puzzle out where your plank is, walking from standing. Bending the knees, walk it back out. Try to find the same spot you were just in. Shoulders over hands. Now we have two bends of the elbows back towards the toes. One, doesn't need to be big. Tiny, teeny bends. Bend the knees, walk yourself back. Almost there, almost there. Stacking the spine, lifting the tummy as you go. Lifting those arms and hands with the head. We'll do it one more time. This time we have three. You're a pro now. Exhale. Rounding forward. The belly pulls up as you go down farther. Bend those knees. Walk it out. Find that spot. Hit your target. Elbows bend back 3 times. That's 1, 2, and 3. Bend your knees. Walk it back, lift the tush, roll up through the spine, let the arms continue to hang by your side as you find the top. I'll turn back to face you, legs hip width apart. Sits bones reaching down towards the floor. Arms come up and over your head. I'm gonna grab my right wrist with my left hand. I'm gonna bend my knees just a little bit so I can give myself a real pull across. That's okay, you can pull on your elbow too. If you wanted to pull this way, that's all right. Standing up nice and tall, switching my grip. I'll bend my knees one more time and I will reach over to the other side. And coming on up. Let those arms open.